if I had to guess a coach, who would you guess smoke?
I'm gonna go. My guess. I think Steve Kerr.
Nah, hell no.
I feel like Steve Kerr.
I can't see Steve Kerr.
I can see
Once
Steve
again,
Kerr.
I'm not putting anyone out there at all, just because, you know, I plead the fifth on all that, but
It was a shame that it was banned everywhere.
it was ridiculous.
Well,
Like,
now
now it's
the
legal.
government is the biggest drug dealer in the world right
Exactly.
now.
You know how that
It's
goes,
falling
man.
out.
Until they
Yeah,
found
my
out.
first trip on the edible, I called the hospital. I said, "Hey," she was like, "You gotta come in here."
And I don't touch edibles,
The edibles,
man.
oh my
What's
Like
god,
we were talking about
Heart
earlier.
Sean, it just wouldn't go away. Like I was high for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
I was high.
Welcome back to the Digital Social Hour. I'm your host, Sean Kelly. Here are my co-host, Wayne Lewis.
What up? What up?
And our guest today is Zach Lord.
Salute, man.
How's it going, man?
Thank
Yeah,
you, man.
it's
Hey,
poppin'.
pleasure to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. You were up till 6 a.m.
Oh, bro. It's Vegas, man. You know
Yeah.
how it
Yeah.
is.
Plus Summer League is out here, so I know y'all busy.
That's why I was up till 6 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Summer League's been hectic for us, which is a good thing,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, just forget sleeping.
Plus now that the NBA is not tripping. So
Yeah, they just legalized it, right?
They
well,
just
no,
pretty
they
much
just,
not
they're,
legal.
they're
Yeah.
not testing for it.
They're not
Oh.
even testing anymore, so all the
Yeah.
players have been pulling up left and right. Even though, even prior to that, they were still pulling up all the
Yeah.
time.
But more low-key.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
guys smoke. Even some of the coaches smoke.
Yeah.
Just
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, it's
100%.
stressful.
Yo, if I had to guess a coach, who would you guess smoke?
I'm gonna go. My guess, the coach from Denver.
Mike Malone?
The coach from Denver for sure.
I don't want to put anyone on blast, but
I feel like
nonetheless.
Spoelstra smokes. I feel like
I'm going Ty Lue.
Doc Rivers. I feel like
You think Doc?
Tyrone Lue. I think Steve Kerr.
Nah, hell no.
I feel like Steve Kerr.
I can't see Steve Kerr.
I can see
Once
Steve
again,
Kerr.
I'm not putting anyone out there at all, just because, you know, I plead the fifth on all that. But at the end of the day, just know a lot of the coach smoke, NFL and NBA too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean-
NFL I could see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like there's anything wrong. I don't personally do it.
No,
I
there's
mean,
absolutely nothing
yeah,
wrong
it's
with it, man.
weed,
Listen,
yeah.
man, they try to pump these pills on all the players, and you know, it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
way
terrible.
healthier.
Yeah.
It's traditional medicine, it's cannabis. So at the end of
Yeah.
the day, man, a lot of people have some kind of ailment, whether it's stress, anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
depression, pain,
Yeah.
hard time sleeping, whatever it may be, man. Instead of putting these pills in your body that have all these negative effects on you, this is just a way better solution. And it's, instead of putting a Band-Aid on a gun wound, you're actually taking care of your body when
Yeah.
you're using
Gotcha.
cannabis the right way. So,
Yeah.
so you can still get that social high.
Well, what's the
but you're
right
sick
way
of
to
your body.
use? I hear smoking is terrible for you. I actually
mean,
inhaling
inhaling it.
smoke. Yeah.
I mean, there's studies go back and forth on
Right.
you know saying that, but at the end of the day, it's all about how much you consume. Like I consume, but like I'm not a chain smoker. Put
Right.
it to you like that. Shout out to the chain smokers, those good friends. But I'm not a chain smoker or anything like that. I'll consume like even before I work out. Like I'll just take 1 or 2 puffs
Really?
before I get on the treadmill.
Why?
Because literally it relaxes your body,
Wow.
lowers your heart rate, and literally running. Like my partner. That,
Do you
know,
want your heart rate lower while working out?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I do because like if I'm running, I don't want it to just speed. That's how you get tired when it's like speeding up like that. Like you get exhausted a little quicker. So for me, I want my heart rate to be lower so I can just be calm and relaxed, just be able to run.
Right.
And my partner, he runs marathons. He smokes before he runs.
No
joke.
way.
Wow.
Dead serious. Yeah, so you'd be surprised.
Wow.
And I think everyone knows Michael Phelps,
Yeah.
big
yeah,
time
yeah,
smoker.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
So there's
before
a-
meets.
Yeah,
sometimes
before
too, right?
meets. Yeah.
Wait,
a
you were
lot of
allowed to?
athletes.
Hell,
In the
not,
Olympics?
not,
They
not when he
weren't.
was doing it. That's why it was like a big thing.
Oh.
Even with Curry Richards.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Were, they were mad at her because she was smoking.
That's the
Michael-
track runner, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
but it's
killing
not
it.
it's not gonna enhance your athletic performance per se, but it just calms you down, calms your nerves down.
Wow.
Which, you know, to some degree kind of helps you perform a little bit
Yeah.
better. But yeah, I treat it from a medicinal standpoint instead of just getting high to get high. I always tell people that come in, because I've had everyone from Travis Scott to you name the athletes coming into the shop, and I tell everyone it's smoking with a purpose. You know, so you know you can consume the product, just do it responsibly, and it's surprising how many people just don't understand like the science behind it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's been around forever, but you know, there's been a taboo and stigma around it for a long time as well. And it's kind of cool that we're now starting to, see the industry evolving more and more. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Put it to you like
Are you
that.
guys getting into mushrooms too?
Well, psilocybin right now is the next wave, in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
it's going to exceed, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I feel like it is too.
Yeah, I
bro.
know a guy that's really big in tech, And he was like, Zach, look, I mean, he just actually.
Are you someone that doesn't have life insurance? Why leave anything up to chance in a worst case scenario? Luckily, Policy Genius makes finding the right policy simple, and their team of licensed experts are on hand to help you through it. Life insurance gives your family a safety net that they can cover expenses with, so they don't have to worry about money while getting back on their feet. I've had friends and family members that have passed away without life insurance. It's definitely left us with financial instabilities. Even if you already have a policy, it may not offer enough protection for your family's needs, and it may not follow you if you leave your job. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policy Genius knows how valuable your time is. Their technology makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes from America's top insurance in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. Policy Genius has licensed, award-winning agents who can help you find the best fit for your needs. They work for you, not the insurance companies. They don't have an incentive to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. Policy Genius is for parents, caregivers, and anyone else who has people who depend on them. They simplify the process of getting life insurance so you can protect the people you love. They got thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot. Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net. You deserve a smarter way to find and buy it. Head to policygenius.com/DSH or click the link in the description to get a free life insurance quote and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/DSH.
Stepped down from CEO, but he literally was like, I'll put up $5 million myself for psilocybin, because he was giving his developers like mushrooms before, before work. And
like
he said,
microdosing,
he's microdosing and nothing crazy. Yeah. And once again, he said the performance and the productivity was way higher.
Wow.
And so he's like, he's a very big believer in it. And outside of that, just, from work standpoint, it treats people with a lot of issues that they have too, like PTSD and all kind of mental instability. Yeah. So there's a lot of positive information around it. So
that's exciting. I hope they legalize it.
It's coming soon.
They got to, because you guys are pushing for it too, right?
Oh, 100%. We're pushing for it big time.
It'll expand their business. It'll
massively.
10x them. Yeah, it'll probably 100x them.
And listen, like we just said, everything's okay when it comes to dosing the proper way. As long as you take care of your body, and microdosing too. A lot of people that have stress and anxiety, that's why they're treating people with psilocybin. It really helps with that.
Yeah.
And I get bad anxiety going on planes all of a sudden as we get older, anxiety kicks in. But now I'll take just once again, microdosing, it really helps before I jump on a flight.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Now, what age were you getting into this? Because I know you played in the NFL, right?
Yeah. So I didn't
smoking back then?
Yeah, I was, to be honest with you. I wasn't like some of my boys. Some of my boys would smoke before the games, and for some reason, football was, I couldn't smoke before games. Like, Ed Reed's a good friend. He was a big smoker. He smoked before every game too. But, some of my buddies, and I played receiver, I couldn't do it before a game. But working out was a lot easier. But I would smoke after practices, because for me, it healed my body. I didn't like taking pills at all.
Right.
If I have a headache, I wouldn't take any pills. And, not to knock the NFL or anything like that, but they used to try to pump pills on us all the time.
They still do, right?
Some Vicodins, Lortabs, they
take
give guys
you to the
shots.
back, and next thing you know, the running back leg not broke. No
Exactly. So, and it's kind of scary, and it's messed up, to be honest with you, because Big Pharma and the NFL kind of in bed together. They were giving them trial drugs and stuff like that. And, we don't know any better when you're 21, 20 years old. You have no clue. You're just trying to get through. Yeah. And, after a while, I just started, do my own little research. And I'm like, I'm not taking this stuff. So I literally stopped my rookie year. There was a bunch of us, actually. We were like, dude, we should just not take this, take these pills. And we all were smokers anyway. And so we started doing a little bit of research on, because there's all kinds of, YouTube videos and all kinds of stuff out there on the product and how it helps people with all kinds of different problems. And so we're just like, all right, let's consume it the right way. And once again, I didn't take it seriously at that point until I got into the space, but I was always an advocate of consuming like post-practice, after workouts and stuff like that, just to like relax my body from being like sore and being in pain and stuff like that. So
that's cool. Yeah, a lot of athletes can benefit from it. It was a shame that it was banned everywhere.
It was ridiculous. Like Josh Gordon and stuff like that. Like, I really feel bad. Ricky Williams, all those guys kicked out of the league. Yeah, it was a joke, man. Josh Gordon was literally the best receiver at that time, and they kicked him out and messed his career up.
Yeah.
And like guys like that, it's like, guys, come on, man.
Like Cass went to jail.
Yeah, went to jail over the stuff, so it's a joke.
Yeah, it's like,
just for
and now it's
the
legal.
government is the biggest drug dealer in the world right now.
You know how that goes, man. Until they found a way to monetize it for themselves. That's the reason why it's still a Schedule I drug. Because, Big Pharma and those guys got their lobbying power to keep it a Schedule I drug. Because once it gets descheduled, they're going to see a big dip.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in their industry. You know,
So how did you actually get into the industry? What's the story behind that?
I mean, I've always been an advocate of like we're talking about
Right.
now, and
you guys own the biggest dispensary in
Vegas.
Well, the biggest is Plant 13. Not knocking, you know, we're the biggest brand by far.
Yeah.
As far as size wise, they're the biggest size wise.
Yeah. So Planet 13 is the biggest.
As far as size.
Yeah.
As far as like brand and relevance, definitely we're not trying to cap or anything like that, but we definitely have way more of a presence culturally than Planet 13 because we deal with everyone from every single artist, rapper.
Y'all marketing is crazy.
Yeah, we go hard on the marketing. I mean, we really understand the importance of brand because we look at the dispensary as just a platform because, once again, we take it on more of a medicinal level than just trying to sling.
Right.
So like we were talking about earlier about helping out with all the different ailments you may have, we have a whole division in our dispensary at the property called Jardin University. So
upstairs.
Yeah, upstairs. Yeah. And that's where the training goes in. So every single girl that works behind the counter, you guys have been there before, they go through hardcore training. They're not just cute girls that work there. They have to pass a 30-day course, sometimes 60 days before they can get behind the counter. Yeah, and so they have to know everything about terpenes, how to pair products, like, and just everything there is to know about cannabis. Because once again, people are coming in with serious ailments. Like you'll see people coming in with cancer, people coming in trying to get off hard drugs, heroin. I mean, we see everything.
Yeah.
So, you want to make sure that customers getting the right treatment instead of just trying to sell the highest ticketed item.
I forget
so that's been our approach since day one.
I think he's one of the owners.
Adam?
When I was there, he broke out because I was telling him I needed something for headaches.
Yeah.
Man, he broke all this different, put a package together for me that was so nice.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And that's the name of the game, man. Like, you got to make sure, because people really come with serious issues and, humanity, man. We got to go back to the core of like who we are. You got to take care of people, and the knock on big pharma, which we all can agree, it's all about capitalism. They're just trying to make a buck. Yeah, and it kills you, really messes you out.
But the side effects are like, bro, your liver, kidneys, heart,
you see
brain.
these commercials like, if you took this, you got it just lays off like, bro.
Slide it in there. They show somebody running a lap, and if you experience nosebleed, vomit, diarrhea,
exactly,
death, loss of hearing,
exactly,
even a car accident,
and that's the problem, man. It's like, come on, man, you don't see that with. You just don't. No one's ever died. No one's gonna have kidney failure and heart, all kinds of crazy stuff that's happening.
I remember my first trip on the edible. I called the hospital. I said, "Hey," she was like, "You gotta come in here."
And I don't touch edibles.
The edibles,
man.
oh my god!
We were talking about earlier,
Sean. It just wouldn't go away. Like I was high for like 8 hours.
Yeah,
I was high. I'm like, bro, how do I make this? I called the hospital. I'm like,
we've all had a bad edible.
Oh man, everyone's had a bad edible story, man. And now we have these drinks too. They're called sips. Little mini killers, man. So they're 100 milligrams.
Mini killers.
Bro, 100's a lot.
100 milligrams, right? But you're not supposed to take it all at once, obviously. But, some people that think they could smoke, they're like, oh, I got no problem doing this. So what they would do is like try to bang it out because it tastes actually really good.
Okay.
And one of our influencer or ambassadors is, I think it was DJ Booth. That's Fabulous' DJ. And he was in town, and he always pulls up to the shop whenever he comes in town. And Fab had a show that night. And so we gave him some product, and we're like, hey, try this new sip. So we gave him the sip, and we're like, hey, listen, just put a cap full in your water before you drink it. Don't take the whole thing at once. He's like, oh, man, okay, whatever. Because it tastes good. He banged out the whole thing,
100
missed
milligrams.
The entire performance that night.
He was asleep or just tripping?
He fell asleep.
Oh.
Didn't wake up. He couldn't even, he wasn't even tripping. He just was out. It's 100 milligrams, man.
That's
That'll put you out.
Yeah, dude, I black out on my 10.
Yeah, man. Like, I can't handle edibles at all. And like, obviously the liquid, it hits your systems a lot quicker. But yeah, man. So there's so many products that come online nonetheless. And, but it's all, once again, it's about how you dose the product, how you take it properly. So
what trends do you see coming up other than psilocybin in the
That's a good question. Trends, I don't know. I think more than anything, CBD CBD is really big. I would take it every day. It's like my multivitamin. Like when I wake up in the morning, I take CBD. I mean, there's tons of health benefits around it. Like lowers your blood pressure, good for like cholesterol level, lower cholesterol level. It just has tons of health benefits, and it's really good for anxiety too. So when you just keep it in your system, it's just good for you, and it's non-psychoactive. So it won't get you high because the THC is stripped out of there.
Well, there's a couple. I got the one Adam gave me. I think it has a little bit of it in there.
Yeah, so there's some that have combinations of CBD and THC. Then there's some that are just CBD and CBN, depending on if you have a hard time sleeping. There's CBD and CBG.
What's CBN?
So all these different CBN's like, it's a cannabinoid that's specifically like designated for sleep. So it really helps people that have
Knocks you
issues
out, bro.
sleeping. Yeah, it knocks you
Oh,
out.
you had it before?
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
the pills,
CBN's
yeah.
it's really cool. It's really good for you. And a
And
lot of people,
CBG?
that's the one thing that I tell you is most of the customers come in having a hard time sleeping.
Yeah.
That seems like the number one issue when people come in. I have it easy. So I can fall asleep right now. But most people have an issue sleeping. So CBN is like one of those things that's like we're pushing heavy, and like, you know, we're starting to do a little bit more campaigns around it. Because
Now, is it
seems like-
addictive? Like in
No,
the sense
no,
of
no,
if
no,
you
no.
don't take it, let's say you took it, you know, you may take it 3-4 days, but then when you don't take it, does the hard time sleeping come back?
That's a good question. I'm not sure on that,
Okay.
but it's not necessarily addictive by any
Okay.
mean. But you'll notice when you're not taking it, like,
Oh,
because
you'll
you're going to be
so
like, oh man, I'm still up. I can't go back to sleep.
So you're going to need it.
You're going to need it.
Are you going to
know?
become dependent on this? Is
Well, it's not necessarily dependent because it's not like you're going to be like itching, like I need this.
you know,
stuff.
not like
Pookie.
that. That's more of addiction.
You know,
I'm thinking in the
yeah,
sense
no,
of
like
your
it's
sleep pattern.
because it's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like for me with CBD, I
Mhm.
noticed because like I said, I was getting anxiety
Yeah.
as I got older. When I stopped taking CBD is when I noticed, oh, it's kicking in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You know, and so I'm like, man, what have I done differently? And I'm like, oh shit, I'm taking CBD regularly
So you
again.
gotta
So I
take
get
it
back. So I got back on it.
It's a
But once
medicine.
again, it's a healthier way of like dosing your body with the medicine, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And the CBN, you take it before you go to bed, or do you just take it
Before
in
you
the
go to
morning?
bed,
Oh,
nah.
just before you
Yeah,
go to
because
bed.
if you have a hard time sleeping, you want to take it like maybe 20,
Okay.
30 minutes before you're ready to go to bed.
Gotcha.
And then it'll
Yeah.
have you sleeping like really nice. So
Okay.
yeah, and there's like I said, there's so many different products coming online. Back to what you're saying, CBD is a big one. But we're very bullish on the industry in general. I mean, we have over probably 2,000 SKUs of products in our shop.
Jeez.
About 150 flower strains. Like
Wow.
we have a very robust inventory because our whole mindset is the minute a customer walks in the door, we don't want them leaving with nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And we want them to have, so this is a very new industry. It's almost like we're all startup companies, you know?
Right.
And we got to make sure that people are coming in, they're seeing all the different options they have, and we keep track of everything on the back end too. So like, let's say you came in because, you know, this industry is new, you don't have brands like Coke, Pepsi, Gatorade, and, you know, brands like that are very well established. So this is very new. So most people, when they get a product, they don't remember what it was. You know, they don't know. There's no real, because the branding isn't there yet in the space. People haven't really invested. So we keep track of all that on the back end. So when you do come back 10 days later, or however long later, we can look at your purchase history and say, hey, did that product work for you?
Wow.
Or did that product not
That's
work
cool.
for you? And we look at those terpenes and we pair the terpenes with that customer based on, you know, when the
Oh,
bud tender has that conversation.
Like a medical history.
100%. So yeah, because once again, we're taking this
Wow.
serious. We're a platform, and that's what Jardin University is all about.
Right.
Yeah.
Is making sure that we're treating the patients properly.
Gotcha.
Because once again, I have a guy that owns like 6 pain clinics around town or 7. He sends me a lot of his patients, and so, you know, once again, he's like, I can't even deny this space anymore. Like, people are asking about.
Yeah.
And he's like, I actually feel guilty giving them the pills now. So like that they're trying to push on these guys because they're still having these issues. They're becoming dependent and addicting. So, you know, he's sending them my way.
Nice.
And, you know, it's like, and that's a feel good moment because it's like conscious capitalism, man. We're making a couple dollars, but we're taking care of the people the right way. And we're getting them off this addiction to pills because a lot of
What's
people
the
get addicted.
youngest
21.
Youngest client or customer that you've seen that actually uses the product?
Well,
And what
if you have a
age
medical card, I believe you could be 18 if you have a medical card.
But what about 7-year-olds or 5-year-olds?
Well,
that
that's
actually-
once again, that's not legal per se, but a lot of people are treating their kids that have like, you know, whatever problem they may have, whether it's epilepsy or you know, having seizures all the
Yeah, I saw
time, whatever it may be. And these videos are out. You know, you
Yeah,
can
no,
look at videos
absolutely.
all
I've
over the
seen.
place,
That's what I'm asking. Because
like
I've
low
seen,
dosages of THC,
Yeah,
right.
just
They
to
don't even
help
get high.
out with that and they get the shakes gone. And you know, but once again, you got big pharma, man. That's why we're still a Schedule 1 drug, because they want to push the stuff that they want to push on the kids, and it's not really helping.
Are they still trying to go head to head with you guys though?
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, trying to find a way to get into space and dominate the space.
Yeah, but if
obviously.
they get into it, they're gonna mess it up.
Of course they will.
They're gonna add stuff to it.
Of course they
that,
will.
You know,
They're
because they
gonna-
want you addicted to it.
Exactly.
So do they own the medical facility, the medical spots? Is that how it works?
No. That's still like our. So like customers
their
that come in, that's still ours. You
Oh.
know. So
Because
we
in
have
Jersey,
medical.
it started off as just medical. You needed a card.
Yeah, so we started off just as medical as
Oh,
well.
okay.
So Nevada started off medical 2016. We were medical for like, I think it was 4 or 5 months. And then we went rec But you had to have a medical card, and all the medical card is you can purchase a little bit more, and the taxes are a little bit different.
Yeah.
But outside of that, everything else is the same as a rec patient. But so we started out medical and then go rec.
Yeah.
And the same things in every market. Jersey's gonna be the same, and that's usually how the rollout is. Florida's just like that right now as well.
Nice.
Usually they start you off medical.
So do you see it going federally legal? Because I've been hearing this since I was in high school, but it seems to be slow.
For sure. It's once again, it's all politics, man. You
Yeah,
know, and I think it's a
sitting down with
bipartisan
Big
issue.
Pharma,
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I really think it's
Vanguard.
exactly.
They're sitting down with them
You already
guys.
know they're
Yeah.
sitting down with the big boys and
Yeah,
saying, "Hey,
yeah.
look, man, when do we hit this switch?"
Yeah.
Because
we
you know
already.
exactly. Because let's be honest, it is a bipartisan issue in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're creating jobs. We have over 200 employees at our shop, so you're creating jobs.
Extra
it's-
income for the U.S.
The tax,
obviously,
the tax
taxes.
revenue. I think Nevada did over 120 million in tax revenue last year, and
50
just
and roads,
buildings.
buildings.
And once again, so infrastructure, all that. So you got to look at it from a bigger picture. And I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. At the end of the day, it's about money and the tax revenue going to the state, the schools. Technically, it's all supposed to go to the schools. We'll see, but all that money's coming in, and that's from just this
120 million a year.
120 million. And put it in perspective, how this is a kicker. And we don't have lobbying power, obviously, like alcohol and tobacco, but alcohol and tobacco 1 month combined paid, I think it was like 980,000 in taxes or something like that. Still gonna pay 10.2 million.
Whoa! So
In
it
1
outdid
month.
alcohol. and
Yeah,
tobacco.
but that's because we don't have lobbying power. Our taxes are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're taxing them.
I mean, they're taxing the hell out of us.
It's almost like they want to tax you out of business.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what they're
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
And then they're going to, in my opinion, my conspiracy theory, and me and my partner talk about this all the time, but I'm like, I really think the big boys are just trying to see who keeps their head above water, who can
Yeah.
survive this, because it really is hard. It's
Not
challenging
allowing
this
you to
industry.
put your money in the bank,
Exactly.
so you got cash. If you get robbed, you're more prone to get robbed. So they
Exactly.
kind of want to either tax you out of business or put you out of business some other way, where you keep getting robbed. It's too much.
It's too
you
much.
know.
And we've been lucky out here to where there
Yeah.
hasn't been too much, robberies or anything like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the taxes, I mean, the regulations are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very challenging to run these businesses. You
And
really
payment
have to be
processing.
buttoned up. And we're blessed. My partner's a lawyer. We have a great chief operating officer. So we're very buttoned up from from an operational standpoint, so
Right.
that we don't, when they do come in and pop up, try to hit you with all these fines and I got you, they look for that, we're always buttoned up to not get caught up on that. But some shops, once again, they don't have the, the manpower to be able to handle all that stuff, and they're getting hit with fines, and you get hit with too many fines, all of a sudden that license is gone if you're not paying those fines.
Yeah.
And, that's where it gets very tricky. So, and I think they're doing that intentionally, so that those licenses just hang out, and then the big boys can just hold on, get these licenses, and then all of a sudden, then they hit that switch,
Man,
and then you only have a couple people now you're competing with from,
it
'cause-
seems like that. People are getting shaken out.
yeah, Amazon bought like 1,000 acres in North Las Vegas.
No.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
what?
course.
Amazon?
Amazon, yeah.
So they're gonna sell it online.
Listen, they're positioning themselves.
Positioning.
So they know something.
Of course.
Oh yeah, for sure. Amazon.
Amazon, dude, they're positioning themselves. man.
Amazon they're definitely gonna have it available.
Of
on
course, man.
Amazon.
They have the
Prime.
infrastructure.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at their infrastructure. It's already
and
set.
they have the marketplace. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
gonna
they
be
have
the
the market
biggest-
share, the infrastructure is just a plug and play for them.
Wow.
So you got to think, man, when you got big boys like that, and then of course Philip Morris and some of these guys, they're all trying to tap in.
So how do you guys compete with those big brands and spots like Amazon?
I'm not even really worried, to be honest
Not
with
really
you.
worried about
Yeah,
it.
because at the end of the day,
'Cause
like
you guys are more of an experience
exactly,
versus just a product.
exactly. It's like a
Especially-
difference between walking into, I don't know how to really give an example about it, but like walking into like a Supreme store or going to like the Gap or something like that. Like it's, and that might be a bad example, but nonetheless, they're not going to have an identity.
Yeah, you're
they're
talking
just going
about
to be more
experience,
so.
like,
It's just it's an experience, and we've created that. And to be honest with you too, like let's say Bezos or some of these guys were to tap into the space, which they are, they're just going to look for the operators.
Right.
Yeah, but
Who's
they're not gonna
operating the
have a
right way?
consumption
They're not.
lounge
They
either.
might acquire you. They'll pay probably 10x of what you're actually worth, which is great for us. And they'll say, okay, we now own it, but you guys run it. You guys still be the face. We'll give you a little percentage here and there, but we're now we're now your boss.
Facts.
Yeah.
Which is okay as long as you step back and let us do our thing. That's cool. But I think they're going to wait it out to see who are the better operators,
Yeah.
and that's why we've been so focused on operations
Yeah.
at our
You guys
shop.
crush it with that.
Yeah, we're
And
big on that, and we've controlled our own destiny. We've had plenty of opportunities to partner with some bigger groups,
Yeah.
and we've kind of just stepped back. Some of these MSOs,
Yeah.
multi-state operators around the country in cannabis, they have a lot of cash behind them, But once again, like, you know, their vision is different from ours.
They want to scale.
Yeah,
fast.
they're trying to scale way too fast,
Yeah.
and corporate, in all honesty, is very frowned upon.
Really?
You know, big time. You know, and the streets really do talk when it comes to that.
Wow.
Yeah, we see it firsthand. There's one big company, I want to put them out there on blast, but they're out of Chicago, and great, nice guys, but they had their chest out, you know, early on because they went public and they were doing really well. They had a bunch of stores, had licenses all over the country, and they wanted to acquire us. They wanted to partner with us, and you know, they sold us a dream at first, but the devil's in the details.
Yeah, it's one
And
bad
then all of a
seed,
sudden,
though,
and then all of a sudden, you know, we just felt like something was a little off with this.
Yeah.
Let's just step back from this. And we tried to tell them, like, this is all about like having an identity and culture.
Right.
You can't step away from the essence of what this industry really is.
Right, 'cause
Because
that's
if you
the
do,
essence of it, yeah.
exactly, people are going to notice that. Look at cookies, you know. So when things like that start to happen,
Is that what's going
oh
on?
yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so like when you see things like that, you know, the streets do talk, and they see that, and they kind of stop going to those stores because you got to think about it. People are getting arrested for cannabis for a long time,
Yeah.
and it was those same suits that were pushing people to get arrested that are now in the space. So why would I shop with you?
Right.
I mean, think about it, you know. So as crazy as it may sound, like there's this weird subculture of cannabis that's like they don't want to mess with corporate cannabis.
Wow.
So
So
they
like
rather
mom
deal
and
with the
pop.
independents. And so once again, going back to that group out of Chicago, they had stores everywhere. They were cocky as hell. And then literally, like maybe it was 6 to 8 months later, they just saw their stock, boom, 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 taking a hit because exactly what I was just talking about started to happen. They had no identity. They had no culture behind their stores. It was just little, you know, pop-ups here, there, and the other, just nothing to it. And dude, people stopped going to them. So they came back and was like, hey, look, would you guys be interested?
In
The
buying us.
conversation's over.
Yeah.
No, but no, it's not even buying us. It's just like, can we have this conversation again? And it's like, no, man, look, we're going to go in a different direction, man. Like we try to give this to you guys. We try to lay it out to you. Didn't want to listen. And we know how how that goes, you know. And then all of a sudden you do give them the blueprint and then they change things up, get cocky again and say, all right, see you later, scram.
Right.
You know, so we just said, no, we're just going to wait.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we just said, we're just going to wait this out, do things our way. And so
Yeah.
far, so good.
So what's going on with cookies?
Cookies, man. And look, Burner, shout out to Burner and those guys.
He's doing
They're
his thing, for sure.
He's doing his thing. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's just a ton of litigation around him right now. And, you know, it's where the mistake they made, in my opinion, is they tried to scale too fast. They had an opportunity of a lifetime. And listen, not knocking them whatsoever because they're still out there. They're still cookies.
Yeah. There's
But-
one here, right?
Yeah, of course. There's 2 here. Maybe 3. No, it's 2 here. There's one by Flamingo and there's one on the Strip. And there might be another location. But nonetheless, they had a huge opportunity early on in this industry because they had a brand name already, which very few, you know, people in the space had that.
Right.
So if you were just thinking about it, everything we just talked about, culture and everything like that, they had that on lock. Burner did a great job
Yeah.
of creating
absolutely.
that brand.
Got a brand.
Great job. But the minute they went corporate and started like, you know, just scaling so fast, that's when things started to go down. Quality of the product went down. So people started talking trash about the actual, you know, what's inside of the packaging. Because, you know, cookies you can order, there's like 5 or 6 different cultivations that are growing cookies out here. You know, so, you know, and I don't want to get too far into the business model, but nonetheless, like, and some of the cultivations are not that good. Some are actually good. So from a customer standpoint, you know, I see this cheaper cookies product, I'm gonna buy that one. And that's from the bad cultivation. But then people start talking trash about cookies product. Instead of cookies saying, you know what, quality control, I don't care if I'm making better margins on it over here. I just want my shit to be gas all the time.
Right.
You know, because that's what cookies known for.
Gas. Yeah.
That's what's known for in California. So if they had stuck to that model, bro, they'd dominate the space because they already had a brand name. They had stores in California. Everybody knows cookies.
Yeah.
The hip hop community, the streets love cookies. Bro, you have leverage. But they wanted to just open up everywhere so fast. And this industry's not like a McDonald's. Like, you can't scale the same way because McDonald's, no matter what state you go to, is going to taste the exact same. It's not the same with you got different growers all over the place growing your product. Where's the quality control to make sure it's the same level of gas in every market? It's just not there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where they made a big mistake, man. And that's why we haven't scaled fast ourselves.
Right.
We've taken the time because we know how hard it is to just run one store.
Mm-hmm.
So to open up like multiple stores all around the country that fast,
Yeah.
bro,
You're opening like 20, right?
Yeah, dude, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
The QC's not
because
there.
there's no quality control.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you have a store in New York City and people are like, man, this place sucks. The customer service is awful because you don't even know who's running it over there. I
Yeah,
mean, you
you
hire them,
wouldn't-
but
yeah.
there's no one there day to day to make sure that everything's
Right.
up to a certain standard,
Wow.
which is why we take our time. And now we're in a good position now to be able to scale because everything's kind of locked in here. We have great SOPs. So we now, my partner and I and our COO, we can just walk away and look at other opportunities and say, okay, now we can step back. We don't need to be as hands-on as we were early on. And now we can look at other opportunities, which we're doing that right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, your marketing is insane, man. How do you get in bed with all these celebrities? Because every day there's
Yeah,
one.
I mean, a lot of
You
it
see-
is
you
just...
see Jardin, you can be at the grocery store, somebody have an ad on it.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, man.
Constantly reminding
And
you.
it's cool, man. It's great because, I mean, a lot of it's relationship. I've been in Vegas for 12 years. You know, we just have a great staff and team. And like Bonix is, I don't know if you know DJ Bonix.
Yeah, I know
Wiz
DJ
Khalifa's-
Mine.
yes.
That's Wiz Khalifa's DJ.
Yeah, so he
Mine was
started
cool.
our ambassador program too, or he started running our ambassador program. But even prior to him being on board, like, you know, we just had great relationships with a lot of these artists that come in town. And we have great relationships with a lot of the clubs around town. You know,
That's smart.
and that's the big thing. And that was our lane from day one. When my
Right.
partner and I sat down, we said, all right, this is what we're going to do. All the other best dispensaries can do whatever they want to do. Our focus is going to be hospitality because that's what Vegas is. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to tap into these nightclubs because those customers are our customers.
Right.
At the end of the day, let's be honest.
Partiers. Yeah.
They're partiers. They come into Vegas to party. Don't get me wrong. We got to focus on the locals as well, but we want to tap into that,
Yeah.
and we'll build up the culture from there. You know what I'm saying? And so we have great relationships around town at all the different nightclubs.
And it's a tourist attraction.
It's a tourist
Go there,
attraction,
there's so
man.
many people like be happy to take pictures in your
Absolutely,
lounge. Yeah.
absolutely, man. And so, legitimately, we've just stuck to the process, as you know, the Sixers said, trust the process. We trusted that process. We stuck to it. And we have a board that's, they didn't understand it at first or older, but now they're starting to see like where that investment went and
nice.
The results of that. So, but we're big on branding. And it's just the beginning. I mean, we're about to take it to the next level. So yeah, things have been working out.
How do you feel the introduction of the consumption lounges are going to do here in Las Vegas?
Oh man, I think that's the next major wave. Just because, let's be honest, the nightclubs, it's after a while, it's like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
Like you can only see chain smokers and some of these guys so many times,
yeah.
man. I mean, and I love them guys. They're just good friends of mine, but like, you can only see them so many times. And it's after a while, it's like, what's next, man? Like what's the next wave? What's the next vibe? And to me, there's nothing cooler than a lounge where it's not crazy loud, but you still have DJs there. It's more of a social setting as opposed to just loud, rah, pack, can't go to the bathroom, like 10K, 20K minimums to, you can just sit down, see a group of pretty girls in the corner. Oh, they smoke. That's what, like, it's easier conversation piece in my opinion, because everyone drinks alcohol. It's nothing worse than a drunk girl.
Yeah.
But someone that's high, it's cool conversation, So I think, and a lot of girls smoke, let's be honest,
Yeah.
And so that kind of environment's more relaxing for everyone. And it's just a change up. You're not getting banged over the head for these big minimums, and people have the money, but they just don't want to spend that
So
anymore.
you guys still have alcohol there too?
No, so there's a firewall between that. So like we can't sell alcohol there, but in my opinion, like I was saying earlier, the THC drinks is the next wave too, because now you're going to see beverages on the THC side. So, and I think, in my opinion, which is why a lot of these alcohol companies are trying to get involved.
High as hell.
So no, so you got to think about it though. But
They're gonna be
it's all,
smoking
no, it's,
and drinking THC.
but it's just a matter of how you dose it. Once again,
Yeah,
it's just like drinking a beer. Instead of having it, 10 milligrams in that drink, put 2 milligrams in there.
Right.
So you can drink and you're not really be banged up. And some people might want to just drink and not consume, like smoke.
Oh, so it just kind of keeps the buzz.
Yeah, just
there.
keep just a nice little buzz.
Yeah,
that's all
how
you
I would
need.
want.
And you'll have like a mixology bartender making fresh drinks.
Oh, that's cool.
Just it, man.
When is it opening?
Changing up. So we're looking at doing a huge project, which I can't get into too much detail
Well,
yet.
I mean, I was there.
Yeah, so we're working on a really big project, but we're
Nice.
looking at doing like a, something just next level.
insane.
That hasn't been done before.
Yeah, I'm
pumped, bro.
So we're looking at opening up a lounge because we're not rushing to do this. We got the license. We're one of 20 to get the license out here. So we actually have the license for it, which is cool. And I think about 95% of the lounges are going to just be couches and some lava lamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing major. They're not going to go
theirs
hard on it because, once again, a lot of these dispensaries haven't invested in the branding and marketing to go hard on the lounge.
And they're not as creative.
Yeah, they're not creative people, and not knocking them because everyone has their lane, and
Yeah.
they're just going to stay in their lane and trying to exit when they want to exit. But like I said, like the platform that we built is for scale and to, you know, open up in different markets, major metropolitan cities. So we do the same thing in Florida, same thing in New York. So this consumption lounge, dispensary, like, I mean, we're doing some fun stuff, you know,
That's
like
awesome.
we're putting everything together, and I don't want to get into too much detail, but putting everything together to create the ultimate adult playground. So it's going to be fun.
Sounds exciting, man. We got to
Yeah.
stop by.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
for
you know
sure.
I'm there, bro.
Oh, yeah,
We don't
yeah.
even smoke. That's the funny part.
No, I don't, but I'm there.
No, I mean, you could, the thing about it is, man, once again, you could do your THC drinks as light drinks,
Yeah.
so you're not banged up.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, you could smoke CBD just to make yourself feel like you're smoking,
Yeah,
you know?
true.
Yeah, but no,
to
I mean,
taking care of your body.
I mean, I can still be in the atmosphere. I mean, I grew up around it, you know,
Yeah.
so it's not something that bothers me. I just personally myself I don't do it. But have I tried edibles before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no different than going to a nightclub. Some people don't drink.
Yeah, and I'm
Same
one of those
thing.
guys.
You're just there to just like socialize and just
It's the
chill out,
energy.
be in the vibe. Yeah,
It's the
just be in the
energy.
vibe. So just be with a group of friends, and that's another thing too, man. Because you could do some fun concepts with these consumption lounges. Just imagine having a comedy night in a consumption lounge.
And everybody in there
Yeah,
smoking.
bro.
And
Oh, that'd be
Everyone's
hilarious.
smoking, and it's a
The
comedy
comedian
night.
up there going
Exactly,
crazy.
the right comedian. Because we have
Oh
a
my
relationship with
God,
like Little
yeah.
Duval, Mike. Yeah, we have a relationship with all those guys. Chappelle, everybody. So, you know, we're looking at it from that
Yo,
perspective.
that'd be
That's
crazy.
Like an
I
esports
would
night
come
too,
for sure.
like an esports
Yeah,
night.
that'd be dope.
Yeah, with just
You could have
different
eating
concepts.
competition.
Oh yeah, dude, we're doing karaoke nights, esports nights, like all kind of gaming stuff, just fun,
Yeah.
just something different, you know, that cater to people 7 days a week, man. And it's just an alternative
So it's
to the
20, it's gonna be
nightclubs.
24 or 12 hours. How you guys gonna do it?
Well, we're thinking about that. I think it's gonna be 24 hours. To be honest with you, that's
Yeah,
that's our thought process with this
Wow.
development
Yeah,
because.
you really got to compete. You got to outcompete everybody in that.
Yeah,
space.
it's not even trying to. Cause we look at it, we're not even trying to compete with anyone. More so, we're just trying to figure out what's best for us, because we don't really look at other dispensaries as competition per se, because we have our own lane,
Right.
and everyone has a lane of what they're trying to focus on. That's cool. So we're not technically trying to compete, believe it or not. We're just trying to create our own vibe, which we've kind of created already,
Yeah.
and just stick to that program.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah, that's been our mindset from day one.
That's sick.
Like, yeah, because we don't really think that, like, you know, some of these dispensaries in town, they're not even looking at the industry like we're looking at it. So even though Plant 13 is the biggest dispensary, and you know they're close to the strip, they do great numbers. Not knocking them, but they don't really have the same business model as us, you know, and that's fine. So, because people always ask, like, so your biggest competitors Plant 13, and I'm like, no, man, like, not at all. Like, they're not
You
at
probably
all.
get asked that every day.
Yeah, literally,
There's
we're like,
enough
no.
weed to go around.
There's plenty,
Yeah.
plenty, man. You know, we average 1,000 to 1,500 customers a day, man.
Holy crap. What
Yeah, and that's
percentage
on
of
the
people-
east side of Las Vegas.
Yeah,
so
that's-
think about
that's the
that.
reason
That's on
why-
the east
Yeah, I
side.
remember pulling up. It was, I was like, where am I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we know
Yeah.
the minute we pick up our, you know, our dispensary relocated.
You
close
guys
to the
are
strip.
off the strip too.
Exactly.
Oh,
We-
you're going to relocate?
Yeah, we're relocating. This project I'm talking about
Oh,
is
nice.
being like literally prime
Oh,
real
so
estate.
y'all moving everything.
Everything.
Nice.
Oh.
Everything.
That's going to be a game changer.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
that's
over.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So like
36X.
we know the numbers exactly. We know the numbers we're doing now,
Yeah.
and we're combining that with the other businesses that we're going to be putting together and just create. It's going to be a
I've
massive
heard,
project.
I've
Super
heard the
exciting.
Planet 13 numbers. It's public, right?
Yeah, it's public.
Isn't it like 60 mil a year?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do close to 60 million. Yeah,
It's
'cause they
crazy,
do
bro.
yeah.
That
And they
one
have
location.
it's just but based on location.
Yeah.
The thing about
Yeah.
where they are, you can walk to that. From
You
the
can walk
Trump,
to-
you
exactly.
Can walk to that from the mall.
Wynn.
You know, you don't mind walking to that from the Wynn.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a lot of their traffic is foot traffic.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
strip
I mean, you go over there
clubs
right
literally
now.
on every single
Single
corner.
corner.
Wow.
Exactly.
So it's literally like right there. But wait, what's the other big spot?
Reef right next to it.
Yeah, so Reef is a dispensary or is that?
Yeah,
like
Reef's a dispensary. Reef, man, once again, Reef
is huge, bro.
Reef is big. So Reef really messed up.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, man. They had a huge opportunity. They were right there before Plant 13 even opened
Yeah.
up. They were the big town, you know? Excuse my language, but they were the big town. And once again, they had a huge opportunity, but they got too comfortable. They didn't focus on the little things, the details around like building out their shop to make it presentable because you're dealing with all these tourists. So you might want to make it nice.
I
you
haven't
know?
been in Reef. I
Oh,
don't know
bro.
how it looks.
It's
They were the
terrible.
first one, right?
They were the first one.
You said it's terrible.
Terrible, bro.
It look
Like,
like
you
a
walk in
warehouse?
there, you're like, come on, man. Like you guys are this location and this is what you built. Like they
So
had a
in
huge
that big
opportunity.
ass building, it's just it's
Yeah, it's just it's and then once again, I haven't been there in a long time. I don't know if they did any kind of remodel because
Yeah.
Plant 13 really kicked them in the nuts.
Yeah.
Because when they opened up their shop, they ate up probably a good 40,
Dominated,
50% of their market. they crushed them, you know, to the point where it's
Aesthetics,
like,
it looks good.
Yes,
Aesthetically, the
and Reeve-
outside.
and once again, you got to play defense more than offense. Like Reeve had an opportunity to build out something really nice to deter Plant 13 from even opening up right next door. Because if they built something nice and focused on like the design and like, you know, the identity of the place, Plant 13 would have never opened up because they would have just dominated that area. But because they cut corners, Plant 13 was like, oh, we got an opportunity here. And so they just built a better mousetrap.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they ate up a ton of market share from them boys.
Crazy.
To the point where I think, you know, they ended up selling, and I think another group just bought it not too long ago. Reef,
That's
so,
nuts.
it's
Zach,
crazy.
it's been fun, man.
Oh, for
I
sure.
love talking to you. Anything you want to close off with?
No, nothing, man. You can follow us at Hardy_Las Vegas. We have fun with it. Just stay tuned. We got a lot cooking right now with this play.
Stop by if you're in town, guys.
Yeah,
Jardin.
for sure.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.